Rebel salute, rebel salute, rebel salute. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I'll be here for a brief time. I have been off for a minute. I'm still, my broadcasts are kind of limited right now on YouTube, so I will be back on live on YouTube in March. As of right now, I'm still, working on some things so we can get back to our normal broadcast. Anyway, this is Kenya Revolutionary. Today, I just wanted to talk about this topic, which, as you can see, says, I do not trust Jimmy Wanjigi along with Raila Odinga and their call for demonstration or mandamano. But before I get to that, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades, let's just address this real quick. Kalonzo Musyoka, I see, according to Standard Digital, Kalonzo Musyoka made some pronouncements quite interesting, and it's about the Kamwene political group that was formed by Kioni and Martha Karua. Kalonzo says, Kamwene is a terrible individual political philosophy. It is dead on arrival. I will advise my friends to abandon it, and we should stick together. If you guys remember, Kamwene was formed, it's like a regional political outfit to lure the central province people, Kikuyus, let me just say that, to rally around. I said this in my previous video that Martha Karua and Kioni, they basically formed this political, this parochial political outfit in the future to negotiate for a position in the next government. Because if you go to elections right now, they can come in and negotiate with UDA or whatever the case is. Obviously, not Kenya, not Azimio, because from all the indications, Azimio seems to be falling apart. And actually, this mandamano would be a welcome distraction by the Azimio folks. That's why you see they're beating the drums of these demonstrations, protests, and all that stuff. But anyway, Jimmy Wanjigi and Raila Odinga, let's get to that real quick. These two met yesterday or the day before that, and they had a discussion, so to speak. As you can remember, these guys fell off after Raila Odinga joined Uhuru Kenyatta. But now Jimmy Wanjigi is joining Raila Odinga, and he said the reason why he was joining him was because he wants to join the demonstrations because of the deaths. Jimmy Wanjigi has done a good job as far as auditing the debt that actually the Kenya owes, and also highlighting the odious debt that Kenyans should not pay. Okay, so in that regard, Jimmy Wanjigi has done his patriotic duty, but his coming together or meeting with Raila Odinga, to me, is a terrible move, which I think will lead to a disaster. I told you guys before in my previous video, the whole point of this mandamano is to create instability, make this country ungovernable, to bring everything into a standstill so that Ruto and Raila can come together in the name of peace to bring about the constitutional change through the NADCO nonsense that Kalonzo Musyoka and Chungwa agreed upon. I told you, this NADCO thing was not in vain. These guys were paid a lot of money, wasted everyone's time, but they will push for it. Remember, this is BBI 2.0, okay? And these guys have been pushing for it. And also remember, if they create new positions, as it is recommended in this NADCO proposal, that will bring people like Uhuru Kenyatta back in the fold as far as in the government, giving them a position where they earn salary and still have taxpayers paying for their bodyguards, paying for all that stuff, okay? So that's why I was saying this whole Jimmy Wanjigi coming together with Raila Odinga is simply a way of actually, they want to maximize. They want the next mandamano that these guys want to bring out. They want it to be as much chaotic as possible. I argued this in one of their channels, and I was verbally abused, called names. I'm telling these guys that you can see the political elites, elites in general, the Kenyan elites, the people who are hungry for power, and those who have power who want to maintain the status quo, are for this mandamano because they want to be part of government. Okay, they know that constitutionally they will never be voted in to be MPs or whatever the case is. So the best way for them to actually get into power is to change this constitution to create positions where they shall enjoy the spoils of state machinery. Okay, someone like Jimmy Wanjigi, he might mean well. I don't think he's, he also has his aspirations. Okay, we saw that he tried to run for president, so that's an indication that he also is earning for power. Okay, he wants to be the president. He wants to a position. Okay, Raila Odinga, we all know how it is. He always used demonstrations for him to negotiate for a higher position for himself. We've seen that all through the history from 2000 and 2007, 2017, and now 2022. The script is the same, but a lot of people are being caught up. They don't know that they're being played, as we can say. Sorry, I'm a little bit, have a slight cold. As we say, tunapangwa, but most of us don't know that. Tunapangwa, but hatujui. You might be a young man or a young woman frustrated with the economic situation in Kenya, and you might be angry enough, and you might be, your emotions might be you're angry about the going-ons in the country, the lawlessness, the corruption, the lack of service delivery, the plunging of the dollar. The Kenyan shillings against the dollar, the high prices of commodities, price of living, cost of living, sorry, excuse me. And you might be well pissed off or annoyed by all these things. And when you hear Raila Odinga and Jimmy Wanjigi, especially Jimmy Wanjigi now mentioning how much debt we actually owe and how much has actually been acquired illegally, the odious debt, you might be sitting there and thinking, you know what? I'm actually done with this government. I'm done with William Samoei Ruto. This man is not making any changes. And that might move you to a point where you pick up your self and friends and family members and head to the streets if Raila was to call for a mandamano. Because in your mind, you'll be thinking, yes, Raila has a good point. Ruto is plunging this country down the taro economically. So it will only be right for us to go out in the streets and protest against these issues that are affecting us. But not knowing that this is a whole huge ploy by Jimmy Wanjigi and Raila Odinga to actually destabilize this government by making it ungovernable, causing chaos. We all know. I told most people in another channel, as I said, our sister channels, that I told them, those pro-Raila people who are saying, yeah, let's go demonstrate. It's our constitutional right, which I did not disagree. I told them, yes, it is your constitutional right to go and demonstrate, picket peaceably as the Constitution allows. Okay, but the problem is any mandamano, only any demonstrations that are called by Raila Odinga always end up to be bloody. Okay, it always end up bloody, and that's the whole point. I mentioned, and I'll go live again tomorrow and I will highlight those. I'll play those clips. There's a clip of Raila Odinga actually meeting the youth after those youth caused that chaos in, was it Uhuru Highway or somewhere? You know, there's a clip, audio clip of Raila actually praising the youths for causing damages. There's news clips all over the place of people looting shops, burning vehicles, you know, throwing stones at, you know, different cars and having exchanges in police. So while the Raila supporters, demonstrators, most of them might go out there and might mean well and want to be peaceful, the truth is that there's always skirmishes between the police and the demonstrators. And believe me, believe you me, Raila wants this chaos. He wants that. And the media shall do its job by actually showing us, you know, barraging this our minds and eyes and vision with images of atrocities committed by both sides, be it the government through the police forces, the brute force that's been used by the police forces, or by the protesters who are actually causing chaos, looting, beating people. You know, we saw pictures of what's his name, Gaucho, you know, with some pangas and drinking blood, trying to intimidate people. These are the images that the so-called Azimio people want, because they want to capture, make people fear, in order for people to actually, you know, be scared and say, "Hey, listen, let's settle for this. Let's settle for this. Let's settle for this NADCO recommendation. It's better than having these images and this atrocities happening in our streets. At least if Raila Odinga and Ruto sits down and agree upon changing the constitution, it will be better off than having blood in the streets." Okay, that's the argument that they want you to do. So that's why you see there's a huge force in this. They want this. They want this war. They want these demonstrations. Okay. Again, let me be very clear. While majority of the protesters might be going out there for a good cause, because there are people who will go there seriously and honestly, going there to protest against the ills, the failures of this current route of government. And it's a legit concern. It's a legit protest, constitutional. Okay, that's enshrined in the 2010 Constitution. While they might go there with that in mind, with that as an intention, Raila Odinga will be going there for the sole purpose to cause as much chaos as he can by having exchanges with the police and causing anarchy, forcing the government to negotiate, bring them to the table to meet their demands. Remember, I've been telling you guys, go look at the clip 7 months ago. Raila's aim was always about power sharing. It is not about the cost of living. It is not about the electoral justice. It is not about opening Sava. None of that. Raila's main aim, he said that in the Azimio when they first started the initial protest that was unsuccessful. They held a press conference, him and Wadanyi and the rest of his cronies, and mentioned that their main reason, what they wanted, was something akin to the Kofi Annan Accord back in 2007 or 2008, something similar to that, which was basically government of national unity, okay? The Nusu government, serikali ya nusu mkate, okay? If you remember, after that, that stuff was actually passed into parliament, which gave birth to the 2010 constitution. Now Raila wants to repeat the same thing by going to the streets, okay? Causing chaos, making Kenya ungovernable, bringing Kenya Kwanza government in its knee, and forcing his way to bring the president to agree to this NADCO nonsense. We already saw what was on that NADCO. Nothing spells out the cost of living. It was mainly proposing a change in the constitution so it can have new positions. And as I've mentioned before, I hate sounding like a broken guitar, but I'll make that one point one more. The main aim of this Mandamano is to create chaos, enough chaos to force peaceful Kenyans to say, whoa, enough of this chaos and anarchy. We want peace. Why can't we just have Raila Odinga and Ruto sit down and talk and come up with a solution? And the solution will be the NADCO report, okay, which will ask you, the Mwananchi, to change the constitution. And it might be done by violating the constitution, or by forcing the judges in the Supreme Court or the judiciary, to actually let this thing, let Raila Odinga and Ruto have their way. I told you this, guys. These Kenyan elites are up to one thing. They care about their interest. They're not interested in the nation. Jimmy Wanjigi is a great disappointment. I would have thought that he's a patriot, especially after mentioning the audit that he did with his team. I would think that the last person he would like to team up with is Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga, by now, if you don't know that Raila Odinga is only after his own interest, then I think you're living in La La Land. The man cares about himself. I know some people who are still fooled by this man think that he's actually fought for Kenya and all that nonsense. No, this guy has conned a lot of people. He has betrayed the trust of millions of Kenya over and over again. And a lot of youth, especially from his own community, have lost lives, livelihoods, and property defending this man valiantly, only to lose everything without any compensation, okay? Without any mention, without any eulogy or memory, memoriam for those who lost their lives. This guy still is using the same trick, okay? He's very happy with the situation now. He's riling people up. You heard him say the clouds are gathering, because he knows he's happy. The more this government is failing, the happier he becomes, because he sees an opportunity to rally people to go back to the streets for him to cause chaos and force this government to bow down to his knees so they can change the constitution and have him a power-sharing deal. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the gist of it. As I said, Jimmy Wanjigi is a great disappointment. He should have not joined forces with Raila Odinga. That is the worst thing you can ever do as a patriot. A proven conman should not get anywhere near or strike any deal with any patriot. Okay, as I said, this thing will happen, and you can see the media, the social media, through the social media guys and the actually Main Street media. You can see they are drumming the beats of Mandamano. They are saying it's coming. The clouds are gathering. Psychologically, they want you prepared for this. They are preparing people to expect something, to expect a huge Mandamano. That is what they are preparing you for. And that's why you hear Ruto is now on his part. He is attacking the judiciary because he knows once that NADCO thing goes to court, because people like Okiya Mtata will definitely will challenge the constitutionality of that NADCO nonsense that was agreed upon at Bomas. We all know it doesn't take anyone with a law degree to know that that NADCO proposal is unconstitutional. The thing did not emanate from the people. This was a bunch of elites, social elites, Kenyan social elites, political elites, who call themselves leaders, agreed to meet up at Bomas, paying themselves huge salary and trying to change the constitution without consulting the Wananchi, the Kenyans, the sovereign people of Kenya. So this thing will be struck down early in the morning. Ruto knows that. That's why he is now busy threatening the judiciary, saying that they're corrupt, so that when Okiya Omtata brings this against him, when they try to pass this NADCO, which is BBI 2.0, when they try to take it to the courts, he will hopefully instill much fear in the judiciary, where they will rule in his favor and go ahead and implement this illegal, unconstitutional proposal by NADCO. This is what they want. This is what they want. They want they want a rubber stamp from the judiciary. They already got they'll probably get the rubber stamp from the legislative body, and of course the Ruto himself being the executive, he will basically support it. That's the only thing that's stopping Ruto right now is the judiciary. Okay, once he instills enough fear in the judiciary, he will have no problem. He will, hey, good here. He will have no problem. You're a bit late, my friend. Nice seeing you. Rebel salute. But I will finish with this, ladies and gentlemen, because today I have to go somewhere. Okay, I have to go somewhere. Nice seeing you. Good here. I'll go live again tomorrow. But as I wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I just want to say that let's be vigilant. Let's not fall. If we are going to demonstrations, let's go to the demonstrations as Kenyans. Let's not wait for these politicians to tell us to go to Mandamano. We can organize ourselves as the sovereign people of Kenya and articulate our needs and wants. All right, Goody. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be a little bit early. I'll come in a little bit earlier, probably 2 hours earlier before like now. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and enemies and comrades. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go to YouTube. My name is Kenya Revolutionaries, as you can see it right there. Subscribe, share, like, comment. Tell me what you think. Is Jimmy Wanjigi making a good move by meeting Raila Odinga? They shouldn't be rubbing shoulders, in my opinion. And truth be told, I will give you my opinion. I don't trust Jimmy Wanjigi. He has done wonderful things by auditing the Kenyan debt, but I do not trust his intentions. I think he is also a power-hungry elite, member of the elite, Kenyan elite, who is looking for a power-sharing agreement with Ruto. I will leave you with that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My name is Kenya Revolution, the Nonconformist. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and blessings. All right.